Okay. Right. I want you to treat me as a pupil at the train stage.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a test coming up in 3 weeks' time, and you're filling in for my instructor who can't make it today. But he has got the same car as you, so I am familiar with the controls.
Okay.
He said today we were going to look at meeting, clearance. That's clearance to the sides, ahead, and to a certain extent behind. And my general anticipation.
Okay.
Yeah. So for this phase you can call me Tony.
Okay.
You okay with the word picture?
Yep.
What level am I?
Trained.
Yeah. Subject?
Excuse me, meeting, clearance and general anticipation.
Yeah. On these multi-subjects, there's no harm in writing it down a bit of paper if you want to.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so. I'm okay.
Yeah. So my name's Tony.
Hello Tony, great to meet you. My name's Dave.
Hi Dave, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks. Bob can't make it unfortunately
No.
today. He's asked me to step in because I've got the same car as him.
Yeah.
So you okay with all the controls?
Yeah.
You've had a good look, yeah? He's asked me to just recap with you today your excuse me, meeting,
Yeah.
clearance,
Yeah.
and just to check or to have a look at your general anticipation.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions before we set ourselves up. What do we mean by meeting?
Oh, that's like when you've got cars parked on one side of the road and a vehicle coming towards you and there's not room for the two of you.
Yeah, good. So if there was an obstruction on our side of the road,
Yeah.
who'd have priority?
They would.
And if there was an obstruction on their side of the road,
Oh, I would.
okay, so if the obstruction was on our side of the road and you was approaching and you spotted a car coming down, an oncoming vehicle, roughly how much room would you leave between yourself and the parked vehicle or the obstruction in general?
No, it's not cast in stone, is it?
No, it's just in general.
2 car lengths, but you can't always do that, can you?
You can't, no, unfortunately can't. Some busy roads, especially on roads like this, obviously. And if the obstruction was on our side of the road, where would you position? Where would you position in the road?
Half in, half out.
Half in, half out?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, and clearance to obstructions. Clearance. When we're driving, roughly how much room do we give from parked cars?
Oh, doors width.
Yeah, good. And about a metre, isn't it? Good. And anticipation, do you have any particular problems with that you know of, that you're aware of?
No.
What do we mean by anticipation?
Trying to work out what somebody does before they do it, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. So, and what's the first thing you'd do? If you spotted a potential hazard, what's the first thing you'd do?
Oh, check the mirror.
Fantastic. And what are you looking for when you check that?
See what's happening behind me.
Perfect. Okay, some good stuff there.
Yeah.
Should we set ourselves up
Yep.
and we'll get on and have a look?
Yep.
Okay, Tony. Tell me what you can see in centre mirror, please.
I can see the headlining at the top,
Yep.
the bottom of the window, a bit of my head is straight and a bit of yours. I can square the whole back.
Fantastic. What about your right door mirror?
I like to see the front door handle in the bottom left hand corner. I can see the top of the buildings and the horizon in the middle and the road.
Fantastic. What about the left one?
Pretty much the same.
Superb stuff.
I can see that on paper.
Good. Good stuff. Should we move on?
Oh no.
You drive on when you're ready. Good stuff. So Tony, if a vehicle came down the road now, what would you do? If a vehicle was coming towards you, what's the first thing you'd do?
Hopefully you'd wait because there's nowhere for you to pull in.
Okay. What's the first thing you would do?
I'll check the mirror and turning left.
So we need to anticipate what this lady's going to do, reading her body language. She's not very happy with us, is she? Good. So just tell me why you're waiting here.
So they're on the middle of the road.
Yeah, good. Well done.
And turning right.
I'm going to be turning right, please, Tony. So what could we be anticipating here when we turn? What are we looking for? saw a pedestrian on the side of the road there, what would you do? What's the first thing you'd do?
What, they're lying down on the side of the road?
No, if they were stood on the side of the road.
On the side of the road?
Sorry, if they were stood on the pavement waiting to cross.
Oh, make eye contact with them.
Good. And would you ever beckon them across?
Only if I know them.
You must never beckon them across, Tom. It's important that you don't beckon them across, because if you do, what could happen?
Well, I know them, so it's polite, isn't it?
Well, you might be waving them on into more danger. So, hold back, just wait there, Tommy. It's my fault. So, we're a bit too close to this, aren't we? We're a bit too close to this vehicle. What's the minimum gap that we need from a stationary vehicle in front of us? What do you normally give? Sitting in your normal driving position?
Oh, I normally use that dynamite thing.
TNT? Tyres and tarmac?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're a little bit close now, aren't we? What's the dangers of this being too close? Imagine if that car stalled or broke down.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to get around it safely, are you? Or if it was on a hill with an uphill gradient, could roll back, couldn't he?
Just out of roll.
So, Tony, we're in heavy traffic. Just remind me, if this vehicle stops and we have to stop behind it, what's the gap you're going to leave?
TNT.
We're approaching a roundabout, so Tony,
Turning left.
turning left, please, Tony. So, where are you going to look? And are we going to go? Good stuff, well done. Just remind me why it's important that we leave that TNT.
Oh, give us a break.
I'm happy that you understand that. Can I leave that responsibility with you for that, please? How are you judging your position in the road here?
Sorry?
How are you judging your position in the road?
No, I haven't got a problem with that. Is that a roll? Are we on the same...
I was trying to link it. Clearance the meter. I was going to try and link
Yeah,
it.
make it a bit clearer.
Pardon?
Make it a bit clearer.
Okay.
On it.
So, Tony,
Yeah.
you're about a metre from the curb here. Do you have a reference point on the car anywhere?
Oh, yeah, it's in near the that public bit.
Alright, good. Well, if you use that reference point when we're passing.
Yeah, the made mistake there, but yeah, roll. You have made the link, so you can use it to come back at me.
Right. When it
What happened?
when it happens.
I've been too close to where it goes.
No. Yeah, I get you. Jumping there now. Okay, Tony. If you look in your centre mirror,
Yeah.
if that car behind you was too close to you, what would you do?
Go faster, get away.
You must never do that. You must never speed up. Because if a vehicle's too close to you, do you think that we might need to have more time to decide what to do? So if you speed up and get closer to this vehicle in front of you, how are you judging the distance here? Between us and the vehicle in front?
Oh, I used that 2-second thingy.
A 2-second rule?
Yeah.
So only a full brakes a 2-second rule.
That's the one.
So if you sped up, you'd close that gap, wouldn't you? So you'd be too close to this vehicle.
Yeah.
So again, we're approaching a roundabout,
How am I going to turn left?
and we're going to be turning left, please.
Will the examiner tell me what I'm approaching? Really?
I don't think so, no.
Shame, isn't it? And straight on.
And follow the road ahead, please. So looking ahead, Tony, look at the signs. So what could you expect anywhere around
school.
here? So what would you do with your speed?
Expect to see school children around. Sunday school.
If you saw them, what's the first thing you'd do?
Slow down.
The first thing you'd do? gonna
Oh, check the mirror, sorry, yeah.
just like you did do that. That was good.
It's important to check the mirror, isn't
It's very important to check the mirror. So what is it we're looking for when we're checking that sensor mirror?
it? Oh, so I know how close the vehicle is behind me, so I know how I can react.
Fantastic. So again, I'm happy that you understand the use of the centre mirrors. Can I leave that
I'm
responsibility
going
to
to
you?
turn right at the, just past the crossing.
I'm going to be turning right, please, Tony. So looking up ahead, Tony. So what's the first thing you're going to do is? Okay, Tony.
You're not getting the slightest bit worried,
Yeah, of course I am.
right?
We're getting a bit too close to these vehicles here, Tony, aren't we?
Just out of road.
Yeah.
But, you know, treat me like a real pupil. Would you tell me after I hit them or would you tell me before?
Of course. Okay, Tony. Okay, Tony. What's the first thing we should have done there when we saw that? Why is it important then?
I didn't see him till the last second.
Tony, stay to you, please. Stay to you. Okay.
And
Lift
turning
up.
right.
Turning right, please, Tony. We're getting too close to these parked vehicles, Tony, so I'm going to help you with the reference point in a second. I'll let you deal with the junction first. Okay, that's good. So just lift off the gas for me, please, Tony.
Lift off the gas.
Lift off the gas. Just cover the brake for me, please. And slow yourself down and stop just there for me. please.
Stop.
There's nothing behind us. The clearance to these vehicles, how are you judging this?
Doors with.
Good. Can you look at any particular reference point? Do you remember the reference point on the big long road where I asked you? I said you're a metre from the curb and you gave me a reference point on the windscreen.
Yeah.
Well, we can use that with the outer wheels of these vehicles. So if you use that reference point on the outer wheels, it means you're going to be a metre from these vehicles. Does that make sense? Should we give it a go and have a look? Should we move on?
Yeah, have you, just out of road.
Yeah.
Think about it. Have you gone far enough for that?
No. I could explain the reasons why, obviously.
Yeah, if I just move off.
Yeah, okay. So if you pull over on the left, please tell me. Safe place.
Yeah, you said there. Yeah, let's just go back to when
Okay.
I shaved the curls out turning into that road. You never said a word, did you?
I was thinking of what to say to you.
Sorry?
I was thinking of what to say to you.
What would you say if I was a real learner?
I'd have probably hit the brake on you.
Move away.
Right.
Yeah? You didn't say a word, did you?
Well, it was too quick for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you just said when we pull over here, you're going to explain to me. Are you going to explain to me?
Yeah, I'm going to explain to you.
Oh, yeah?
Reasons why.
I wouldn't. I've got a test in 3 weeks' time.
Right, okay.
How do you know what I know and don't know?
Yeah, well, obviously ask you questions.
On then.
Okay.
Rock
Right.
and roll.
Tony, we got too close to those other parked cars before. How would you normally judge your distance from other vehicles?
I thought I was judging it right, but now I'm going to use that reference point.
Yeah, good, because that's going to keep us a metre away from the vehicles. Why is that important?
Oh, a door could open, or vehicles could move away.
Yeah, of
Oh, and
course.
pedestrians walk out between them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Gives me time to react on it.
Sure. And if we was approaching a cyclist, what sort of a gap would you give the cyclist?
About the same distance.
Okay. With cyclists, if you think about it, look at the state of the roads, look at the puddles. What would you expect a cyclist to do if he was approaching that puddle there?
Well, yeah, that's great in a park car, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Or if there's potholes, might swerve, might wobble.
Yeah.
So think about the distance you need to give a cyclist.
Yeah, doors would.
You need to double it. You need to give them about 2 metres.
Oh, right. Oh, I suppose in case they fall off, yeah.
Yeah. Again, look at the state of the roads at the moment. With it being winter, the roads are in a bad shape, aren't they?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so just remind me, why do we give a metre from these parked cars?
In case the door opens, car moves away, or pedestrians walk out.
Good. How can you anticipate pedestrians walking out? What can we do to anticipate that? As you passing parked
Look through
vehicles,
the windows.
Any other way?
Oh, that one on the right there, I can see underneath it.
Yes, sure. So
I
we
can
can
see
we can
feet.
see legs underneath,
Yeah.
can't we?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, should we give that a go while we're on the move? So you got a vehicle coming towards us now, Tony.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do now? Who's got priority here? So have a look at his road position. So we're getting a bit too close here again, aren't we, Tony? If you look at your position in the road, if there's anything coming up behind us, what do you think they're expecting us to have done here?
Oh, they might go past me, mightn't they?
Yeah, they might think we're parked up, mightn't they?
Yeah.
Plus now you've got to work really hard to get that steering out, and you're probably going to go on the wrong side of the road as well. So in a situation like that, it's better to hold back. Where should you position? What would be a better position in the road than this?
There's never a lot of option there with that vehicle, isn't there?
Well, if you think about it, if you look behind you, we
Yeah.
had plenty of room behind us to slow down, didn't we? To give the oncoming vehicle a gap to get through. So
Oh, you mean I shouldn't have stopped opposite this vehicle?
Of course, yeah, because it's inconvenient, isn't it? So we always need to try and stop in a safe, convenient and legal place. So should we,
Half in, half out, isn't it?
when we get the chance, yeah, when we get the chance. So we need to be as close to left of centre as possible. But in that situation, it would have been better to have held back. So we'd call that holding roll back. So because you've got too close, you've had to stop, and now you've got to work a lot harder to get out. Okay, should we move on? So how did you judge your position coming past this park vehicle then?
Is that a reference?
Fantastic. I'm happy that you understand that, so can I leave that responsibility to
I
you?
remember mine now. Oh yeah, in case the door
Yeah.
pulls away.
And if it did, what's the first thing you'd do?
Check them out.
So can I leave that with you?
Yeah, I'd go
Are you able
with
to take the responsibility for
Yeah.
that? Good. I'll sit back and watch.
that. Yes, I saw you came round the corner now. Well, I carry on.
Well, what's the first thing you do?
Mirrors. I didn't
So
know.
straighten yourself up, Taylor.
Oh, straight half out, half in.
And wait there. Just wait there. There's
Well, I
nothing
didn't
there,
have
does
room to wait 2 car lengths there.
So that's fine. Because it's a passing place, that's fine. Because your position in the road is telling people that you're giving way. And again, it's a good signal to the other vehicle, to the other driver, of what you're doing. They can tell, but that because you've stopped here, they can tell that you're giving way to them. So your position in
Yeah,
the
but
road.
I can't stay 2 car lengths back here, can I?
Well, that's fine. That's fine, if needed be. So you'd have to consider using a signal to get out of here now. If there was a vehicle behind us, it might be an idea to put a signal.
Yeah, I
on.
can't allow 2 car lengths between me and that car in front, can I?
In what way do you mean?
Well, I haven't got room to stay 2 car lengths back.
Yeah, well, that's just it's a guide. It's not set in stone. You don't have to stay 2 car lengths.
What's the furthest I can stay back?
Well, you need to show your times and tarmac, don't you?
Oh yeah, TNT. Yeah.
TNT. So
I'll have room
just
to get
just
out.
remind me why the TNT is really important.
Well, it means I can drive around them.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, I can use the same rear, couldn't I?
Yeah, of course.
Better on?
Should we move on?
Yeah.
So steer away from it, Tony, please. But you need to check your mirrors and your blind spot. Hold on.
And
That's good stuff. Turn in.
Right.
Right, please, Tony. So are we going to go?
Yeah.
Good anticipation there, well done. So which reel are we using here, Tony, to keep a safe distance?
The 2 second.
Right, Tony, we've got temporary traffic lights here and roadworks. What could we anticipate being around the roadworks?
Oh, people in their reflective jackets,
I don't think we're going to see any today, though, do you?
drinking tea.
Drinking tea. And again, we've got the pedestrian crossing, haven't we? So it's good scanning, well done. Again, you're anticipating it very well.
I like the way you tell me all these things. You make a really good examiner.
So, good stuff, well done.
Yeah,
Check your mirrors
yeah.
first, that's good. No tea on site there, Tony.
So is that all? Always a 2 second gap.
No, again, good question. If you look at the roads, do you think this qualifies as being wet road?
Well, I wouldn't want to sit out there on it because you get a wet backside, wouldn't you?
Yeah. If the roads are wet, you got any idea what we'd do? So again, are we going to go here, Tony? Are we going to wait? Well done. That's a good decision. So if the roads are wet...
I think I'm okay when to go and when to wait.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave that responsibility with you if that's okay.
Oh,
You're doing good, well done.
yeah, Fred didn't say there was any... He was going to look at that today.
Oh, anticipation. Is that or is that not included in the roundabouts?
No, I'll only if there's somebody there look like they're going to come out in front of me, yeah?
Okay. So Tony, on wet roads, any ideas what we do with the speed and the gap?
I think it's only a full brakes a 4 second rule, isn't it?
That's right. How many times would you have to say that though?
Just the once.
Well, it only takes 2 seconds to say. We'd say it twice.
Oh, right, yeah. That's enough.
So it's only a full breaks the 2 second rule, but we'd say that twice. What about if it was snowing or a bit icy? What sort of a gap would you give for that?
Up to 10 times, isn't it?
Do you remember that from your theory? Have you done your
Okay.
theory? Do you remember that from your theory?
Have I done my theories, you say?
No, I said, do you remember that? Do you remember that from your theory? You've obviously done your theory because you've got your test coming up. You looking forward to your test or are you a bit nervous? Bit of both. Doing good. Right, Tony. What can we anticipate that was the first thing you're going to do? That's good. Keeping a good distance from these parapets. So what are you going to do now, Tony? What's the first thing you're going to do? That's good. You've done well there.
I didn't have room to leave the doors with there, did I?
You didn't. So if we've got less space, what we do is, do you know? You did it then. You tell me what you did. Go slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Reduce your speed. You did very well there.
That's what they were going to do there. They might pull out in front of me.
So again, what's the first thing you do there, Tony? Good. And why is that important?
Don't need to worry about vehicles that have got lights on.
Well, if there's somebody in them, there's a higher chance that door's going to open, isn't there?
So all that could happen, the door could open.
Well, a pedestrian could walk out and they could pull away, couldn't they, without looking? So what could we anticipate happening here? Here.
Where?
Did you see a pedestrian crossing?
Oh, fine with pedestrian crossing.
So just remind me, Tony, why it's important to check that centre mirror as soon as you see a potential hazard. Can I leave that responsibility with you, please? You don't set control, right?
Just get me to go all the way across to the right hand lane.
So you go all the way across to the right
All
hand
the way
lane,
around
please.
and then back down the other side and finish up on the right hand lane.
Good. So we're going to go all the way over into the right hand lane, all the way around the roundabout, please, Tony. And then we're going to go into which lane, sorry?
Finish up on the right hand.
Into the right hand lane, please, Tony. Tony, we've got too close again now, haven't we?
Oh, I can see tires.
Yeah, you need to sit yourself right back in your driving position. So again, just tell me what would happen now if that vehicle brings hazard lights and breaks down.
I think you have to get and give him a push, and
But we're going to be stuck, aren't we? And anything that's behind us is going to be stuck as well. So it's very important we keep the tyres and tarmac, like we mentioned earlier. It's very important that we keep tyres and tarmac. Number of reasons. Again, if it was on a hill, you may roll back.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
Okay.
If it breaks down.
What else could happen? What about the vehicles behind us?
What about them?
What if they get too close to us? What if they're coming up too fast and you're too close to this vehicle?
Push me.
Yeah, of course.
And turning right.
Turning right, of course.
Does that work with all vehicles then?
It doesn't. If you've got, again, good question, if you've got long vehicles like buses or lorries, the rear wheels are set forward, aren't they? They've got an overhang. Have you ever seen it in people's mirrors where on the back of the car it says, "If I can't see you in my mirrors"? So what you do there,
Oh, that sticker that's on the back of lorries and buses.
Yeah. So what we could do is...
Well, I can't see your mirrors, you can't see me.
That's right. So if you can see over the top...
Or I can't see you.
If you can see over the top, probably
top?
around about right, the top of the vehicle.
Over the top of the vehicle?
Yeah.
God, I've never seen a bus and I've been able to see over the top of it, yeah.
You do that.
No.
As long as you can see its mirrors.
I can't even see over the top of that van. Can you?
Obviously not.
Maybe you've got a telescope there, huh?
So I'm happy that you understand the tyres and tarmac rules, Tony. Can I leave that responsibility with you?
Yeah, I think I've got it in there.
You sure? Good.
And turning left.
And turning left, please, Tony.
Sorry?
Just saying, good stuff.
Oh, thanks.
I like your driving, it's very good.
And turning left.
Turning left, please, Tony. Sound in today.
I'm just going to pull over on the right.
Tony, pull over on the right for me, please.
How did I do?
You did well. How do you think you did? You've got that understanding, haven't you, of meeting? You did well on some meeting situations. And the clearance, just remember what the clearance is between yourself and a parked vehicle.
If I can, the doors are
Yeah, good. And what's the dangers? What we're looking out for mainly?
doors opening, cars pulling out, pedestrians walking out.
Yeah, good. You did very well. Well done.
Right, well. How did you do then?
Pardon?
How did you do?
I was pushing you on the mini roundabout, so I thought that came into it on the anticipation.
You were on the back foot right from the beginning, really, weren't you? What was the first thing that I shouldn't have had a chance to do we had done?
Yeah,
Just along that road there.
Getting too close.
Stopping too close.
Yeah. So how would I control that? Would I literally take control of you there and say,
Well, let me turn the question around and ask you. And
okay,
how do you think you could have found? Because don't forget, you're trying to get inside my head.
so I could have asked you on the go, should I?
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah. So what would you have asked me?
If the vehicle's in front are slowing down and stopping, where would you position?
Well, make it a bit clearer than that.
Okay, if the vehicle in front stops in heavy traffic, where are you going to stop?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you couldn't let it happen first, so you had to react to it.
So I can be proactive with that and bring that question out. Yeah, 'cause I'm trying to get in your head, aren't
Yeah, you've never seen me drive before, have
I?
you?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that.
Then we came to the 40 limit. Well, we've gone along for quite a while. I couldn't get closer. I think it was a silver Corsa in front of us. I can't remember now, but I couldn't get any closer to him because he was doing the speed limit, and I don't know about the speed limit. But again, should you not have been getting inside my head? How am I judging that distance between me and that car in front, and why? Yeah.
I think I brought it up eventually, didn't I? But
Yeah, well, you brought up the vehicle behind me, which is good. If it was too close to me, you asked me what I do. I said you got speed up, yeah. And then it kind of crept in, yeah.
Yeah. I've got to get that into my head, haven't I? That on that phase 2, I've got to get into your head and find out what you know.
Yeah. When we got around to the area where I turned right,
Oh yeah, that one.
I wasn't shaving the cars. I was going to take about half of them off, wasn't
It was.
I? Yeah, not a word was said.
Oh, I'm petrified. That's why.
Sorry.
I was petrified.
Move out.
I know,
Yeah. You have to remember after next Friday, what are you going to be dealing with? What are you going to be dealing with?
Yeah, real learners.
Real learners, yeah.
That probably going to do that.
Yeah, there's no good sitting there and being petrified, is there?
No, of course.
Otherwise, you're going to be you're going to have a very slim car left, isn't it?
A very unhappy Tina.
Yeah, you should,
Sure you are. Okay.
Yeah, straight away move me out.
Okay.
Yeah?
I knew it was slow because you did it again straight away.
Well, yeah,
You did it to wake me
it's
up.
dangerous, isn't it? Yeah, don't just sit there and just let it happen.
Okay.
Listen to the word picture that I gave you, and then treat me as a person in that word picture. Don't treat me as a trainer, and don't treat your examiner as an examiner. We are what we gave you in the word picture.
Okay.
Don't fall into that trap of you sitting there thinking, yeah, he'll move out on his own in a minute, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, well, of course I will, yeah. If I hit that car, I end up losing my no claims bonus, don't I? But that's not the point. You need to take control of the situation, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah. There was good bits in there. I just can't understand why you weren't really on the ball as much as you could have been there, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, do you remember I pulled in front of that silver car? And I made a point to you about I've got no room to stow 2 car links back, yeah?
Yeah.
I think you had a job figuring out where I was coming from there, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, holding back 2 car lengths in a holdback position is not a blank, you mustn't give a blanket instruction, because that's not always possible, is it?
No.
If I was going down the road with parked cars both sides of the road, and I've got nobody behind me, and I've got a bus coming towards me, and there's only one gap on the left, if I can get into that gap and allow tyres and tarmac between me and the car in front, I haven't done a bad job, have I?
It's good, yeah.
Yeah? You know, so make sure you don't give a blanket instruction, because you must hold back 2 car lengths is a blanket instruction, isn't it?
So it should be 2 car lengths where possible. If not, minimum tyres and tarmac.
Yeah, in the same way,
Okay.
you know, stopping out by left to centre. That's not always possible. It's as near to left to centre as you can, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it depends on what's coming towards me. Otherwise the road's blocked, isn't it?
Yep.
Any questions you want to ask me about it?
No, I'll have a look back on that and figure out where I've gone wrong. I think I know anyway.
I just seem to go into over instruction there a bit.
Okay.
At one point I thought we were covering progress and hesitancy. All the roundabouts you kept asking me, are you going to go or are you going to wait?
Yeah, that's because I thought the anticipation thing was involved.
Right?
That's because I thought the anticipation thing was involved in the mini roundabouts and the roundabouts.
Yeah, it would be if there was somebody there and it looks like they were going to start moving.
Right, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it would be important to check the mirror and make eye contact with the driver.
Mhm.
If he hasn't made eye contact back, then obviously I need to be a little bit wary.
Yeah.
But all the roundabouts, there was nobody there, yeah?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah? There was nothing there for me to anticipate.
Yeah, like I say, I think I got a bit confused with the progress and hesitance, didn't I? Rather than
Yeah.
anticipation. I definitely did, actually. Definitely did.
Yeah, if you have, if you keep a piece of paper in the door, because these subjects, where you've got a multi-subject, can be quite hard to remember.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no harm writing down meeting, clearance.
Okay.
You can always you always know there's going to be anticipation in there, because I can't even open the door of the car without anticipating, yeah?
Of course.
But if you get overtaken and crossing the path, well, you've got to remember that's what you're dealing with, yeah? Yeah, so no harm writing it down and keeping the piece of paper on your lap.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a memory test.
Okay.
Right. You can have a breather.
Okay.